Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. Folks, every single day, more and more new people in the Goldilocks room, establishing relationships with the actual bankers that will exchange their currency. The wealth managers who will manage their wealth, grow it exponentially. We have 8 steps that anyone can follow for free. All you got to do is join us. Click the link at the top of the description. We will show you the way. We open our arms with love. Wiley, myself, and the tribe are there to welcome you. You could be the next bank story of a person that has been able to establish the relationships to prepare you for your exchange. Or you can just wait on the fence and get splinters in your booty. Don't be that person. Folks, today, Goldilocks is sharing, of course, information. And many of y'all may be aware of what happened July 1st with Basel III, the end game for gold. Let's jump right into it. So Basel III has officially begun. The Basel III end game, specifically, I want to be very specific, because Basel III began several years ago in the banking system, but the end game began on July the 1st, whereby the Basel III endgame's impact on the US dollar international role is likely to impact indirectly foreign currencies. You got to realize this is about capital requirements for banks, gold requirements for banks. 100% of gold's value now banks can utilize. Whereas before, in the old banking system before July 1st, only up to 50% of gold's value could the banks use. Remember, what's going to back our currencies in the RV? Gold. Would you rather 50% of its value or 100% of its value? Folks, without even 100% of its value, 50%, if there's a crash, half of your exchange amount, half of your money is gone. What you got, we have protection in the banking system now. Now, you got to realize that the stricter capital requirements from banks could enhance the stability of the U.S. financial system. It does enhance the stability. It supports the U.S. dollar's status as a safe haven currency. However, higher costs for banks, reduced market liquidity, and potential regulatory divergence would weaken the U.S. financial sector's competitiveness, encouraging capital flows into other jurisdictions, increasing and encouraging more investors to pump money into foreign currencies. What does that do? It reduces the dollar's dominance around the world. So it sounds like here we have something else that will weaken the US dollar. For those of you who have been following Goldilocks, for those of you who saw the leak by the Trump administration, a part of the plan to revalue currencies is to weaken the US dollar. Now, while Basel III, Goldilocks is stating, doesn't dictate currency usage, its implementation, Basel III's implementation, could indirectly lead to a decrease in the dominance of the US dollar in international trade and increase the usage of countries' own currencies in trade and international trade. So just think about that. What Basel III does potentially to the US dollar and weakening around the world, and what it does in potentially strengthening the value because of the usage of other currencies around the world. Then we have US tariff negotiations that we are in the midst of, whereby countries will begin to use their own currencies in local trade as a result of the negotiations and the agreements agreed upon with the tariff negotiations with President Trump. See, Basel III increases capital requirements for banks. They must have more money in their coffers of their own currency, and also more foreign currencies in their coffers as well. So the higher capital requirements may discourage banks from now engaging in risky activities. Think about that. Having more money in their coffers may discourage banks from participating in riskier activities, including those involving the US dollar. They have to play it safe. Basel III could increase the cost of certain cross-border transactions, including those involving currency exchange. The US dollar, folks, is deeply embedded in global trade and financial systems. Each country now utilizing their own currencies can introduce new risks towards the dollar, therefore weakening the dollar. Central banks are likely to maintain a degree of control over their currencies. In essence, Basel III might nudge the system, the banking system, towards greater diversification and currency usage around the world. But the US dollar's dominance is unlikely to be overturned in the near future. It's not going to be a flip of the switch and the dollar is defunct. No, this is a process. But the process is beginning to flip. Such a trend will allow foreign currencies to begin to move into their real values through continuous trade and demand for those local currencies. Pay attention to what I'm about to share. What Goldilocks just stated. So as Basel III might nudge the system towards greater diversification of currencies, but the US dollar's dominance is unlikely to be overturned overnight. But the trend will allow for foreign currencies to move into their real values through trade, supply and demand. This is what I want to share. This is why Goldilocks has said, and Wiley has also mentioned, having an exit strategy for when you will exchange at what amount. So what this is telling us is that, in essence, and Goldilocks shared this a few weeks ago, that foreign currencies is expected for them to continuously move into their real values over a 3 to 5 year period of time. So yes, the expectation is that currencies will continue to rise. Once they begin, they will continue to rise upwards of 5 years, up to about 2030. So this is where the gradual move from the dollar has already begun. The gradual move towards foreign currencies has already begun. Basel III, digital asset regulations, tariff negotiations, and the tariffs to be implemented, all of these things play a part in the transformation towards a revaluation. Basel III compliance for U.S. banks primarily affects global currencies by enhancing U.S. dollar stability through stronger financial institutions, potentially appreciating the dollar to reduce lending and increase demand for the dollar denominated safe assets, such as stablecoins. Basel III is expected to put downward pressure on emerging market currencies. What this means is that Basel III can potentially decrease the value of foreign currencies for the short term. This is why many of them have been going through Article 4 consultations with the IMF in the last 4 years, which we have covered in this room. These consultations with the IMF were designed to teach countries how to strengthen their currencies within their own country. It will be gold that sustains those countries' currencies going forward instead of the dollar. So Basel III puts the pressure on these foreign currencies down, and then gold raises them back up to their real values. The end game of Basel III that went into effect July 1st is the beginning of the new banking system and the new possibilities that we all await. Watch the water and make sure. Stay grounded, folks. The best is surely yet to come. Be well. We love you. Ciao, ciao.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.